Welcome back to the Manor. Julian McBain here, and this is my 39th Saturday vlog. Okay, so we are, before we get started, we are, as you can see, near Corinthi's hangars. What the hey? There's something weird going on with my camera today, but let's get through the little stuff and we can talk about that for a second. So this is Corinthi's hangars. We're actually going to be hunting Sharp Claw Ridge. I am using an R Matrix Short Blade 15 because I'm working on those short blade skills, which I will be doing an intro to short blades tomorrow, or a newbie short blades hunt tomorrow. But for today, I am going to be working on my Berry Clad quest up here on Sharp Claw Ridge to kind of grind out those short blade skills, which are sadly lacking. You know, I've been trying to kind of round out my skills in melee. Okay, let's talk about the camera for a minute. There is something weird going on with the camera. So you can see the camera jumping around quite a bit as I've been just in the short time I've been trying to record this video. But I actually tabbed out in order to get OBS started. Speaking of which, let me make sure that I'm actually recording. I am. That happened the other day. You know, and I tabbed back in, and suddenly my camera wasn't attached to my avatar at all. Like, I was super zoomed. It looked like I had accidentally been put into the perspective of a developer's cam. And I don't mean that I could alter anything or anything like that, but you know, if you're in a development environment, especially one that is for like a game engine, you can move the camera around to get all of the angles of the assets, and I was super zoomed out. Like, not all of Calypso, the east hangars over there, were rendering properly. I was actually above where you would normally transition to space. It was just weird. I wish I had caught it on camera just so I could show you, but there was an issue with the camera itself, and I was trying to fix it for the beginning of the video, and it is what it is. But I don't know if it's something just today or if it's just because of the way I was trying to tab out. I don't know. But just be aware of it as you're tabbing in and out, that if you've got a camera issue, just use your mouse wheel to zoom back in and it fixes it all. And then I'll be submitting a bug report to MindArk about it. And yeah, that's something that we should all make sure that we're doing on a regular basis, because Entropia Universe is not perfect when it comes to bugs. I mean, the game is 16 years old. So, you know, giving the developers the information they need to continue improving upon the experience of Entropia Universe will only benefit us as players and the new players as they come in. And I know that there's some heartburn from experienced players over the changes MindArk's making, but let's be frank here. You want these changes to happen. One, a game that never evolves just stagnates, and stagnation is death. And it doesn't matter what you're in, whether you're a video game developer or an MMO, or you're in business or whatever. Right, and I went over this in a McBain moment. Actually, I think I went over this in yesterday's McBain moments. Oops, I don't care about terps. It's a guardian. It's level 0. So I ain't gonna be guarding very much. You can't stagnate and expect things to continue going the way they are. You either evolve or you lose ground. And so MindArk has seen that one of the biggest problems with the Entropia platform is accessibility, right? I mean, the benefit to the Entropia platform is, hey, it's usable on a huge number of different computers, because they have made sure that the requirements for baseline, even for Cry 2 even though they're using the Cry 2 engine, is fairly accessible. That being said, the learning curve in Entropia Universe prior to the version 16 update was sharp, and that's putting it gently, and it's still got a pretty sharp learning curve. It's easy to accidentally get out of your out of your league and realize that you are losing horribly. And I don't necessarily mean in PED or in death, but raw PED. Because if players are blowing through their PED in the first hour and they don't know what to do and they don't want to depot right away because they haven't gotten a feel for the game yet, they're not going to stay. And we as players need new players to continue enriching the community and the market, and to continue providing that that refreshing element. And yes, I know that the platform is slowly growing. I think it was just under 1 million when I started, and I think they've got 1.1 active accounts now. Keeping in mind some of those accounts are dormant, some of those, and I say active accounts meaning there's actually 1.1 million accounts. Some of them are dormant, some of them are players that are long-term and only come during events like Mayhem. Actually, a good chunk of them are. Others are accounts of players that tried the game out and their accounts are just waiting liquidation. You know, maybe they didn't like the game, or they didn't get the game and no one was there to help them. Or they just weren't patient enough. I almost was one of those players. Serious. I played for like a month, I got frustrated, and I played for like 2 months. I got frustrated and I left for a month. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give this thing another chance. I was bored with WoW. And I got in and I got hooked. Because I figured it out, it clicked. But it's not gonna click for everyone right off. And so, and I mean, part of that's on MindArk. Their tutorials could be a bit longer. They could offer up a little bit more to get people going. You know, make the hook just a little bit sharper. But at the same time, this is a largely player-driven platform. It was designed that way. It is a largely player-driven platform. We have got to be willing to go the extra mile for new players. And to be fair, we have one of the best communities in the gaming world. We do. I mean, you ask a question in rookie chat, and 99 times out of 100, people are right there to help you. You do get the occasional troll. Most times, people will turn around and either tell them to shut up, or, you know, just remind them that new players need help. That being said, if you're being trolled, it's probably because the player trolling you thinks you're experienced. And it's like, come on, man. You've been playing this game for 2 years. Why don't you know that you just can drop amps on weapons, right? Or, you know, go watch one of the Entropia Universe YouTube videos, because they're everywhere. Well, they're not everywhere, but whoa. That guy just came flying over the ridge. Holy shit. But largely, if they recognize you as a new player, like a real new player, they're going to be like, oh yeah, this is how you take care of this. Or they'll see that your Valkyrie is damaged and they're like, oh, let me repair that for you. Or they'll tell you how to repair vehicles. You know, go buy yourself an RK5. And so, no, we do have one of the best communities from a gaming perspective I have ever seen. Because I love World of Warcraft, or at least I did before Blizzard completely just turned to lazy storytelling. But the community there is not the best. You get there are a lot of good players. I'm not saying that it's a terrible community, but you only need to go to Baron's chat to see that, you know, it's got its seedier element, and it's a rather large proportion of it. Not the majority, but still a large proportion of it. And of course the elite feeling between your PvPers and your raiders, and they're always at odds over who's better, and your typical quester who's just there to go through the storyline and enjoy life. You know, there's and yeah, Entropia has its toxic elements too. We've got the assholes, we've got the trolls, you've got the Ubers who don't let anyone into the PvP zone here, although to be fair, the survivability of people in the PvP zone is pretty low anyway because all of the mobs are really high level. And you can go to Arcadia and get free oil. That's right, folks. Oh, is this not gonna... Oh, crap. It's not gonna give me access to the full maps anymore again. For a while, you were able to access all the maps at once. Once you had them. It's gone back to not letting you. Come on, MindArk. Let me see the other planets from here. But Arcadia does have an oil rig, just like Calypso does, that is functioning and does give out free oil. And it operates similar to the way the oil rig did at Orthos back when it was still spewing oil, where there are a couple of Ubers that make sure that everyone everyone has a fair shot at it. So that's cool. That's what this is about, you know. Now I think that MindArk did do something cool. So you've got the Orthos field here. Oh my god. And at Orthos, it used to spew oil, now it doesn't. And it didn't do what MindArk, because they wanted, PvP to be happening over the free oil, which it didn't happen. So they filled it with drones. They kind of gave up, I think, on the PvP oil rig here. There is a lot of PvP that happens there, so I think that is why MindArk puts up with the fact that Uber's pretty much closed the place down, because they're spending ped on shooting the players that go there that they don't want there. And considering the weapons they use, I don't think they're making a profit off of it. But if you go here and you're hunting the robots drop oil. And it's not a huge amount of oil, but it's probably similar to what the oil rig dropped in the first place. And so, like, I was out there hunting, I hunted there for half an hour, I got 2 ped worth of oil. And plus all the shrapnel, and I got a couple of guns and a couple of B101 amps. The guns were the Rubios, so you were not talking like... It wasn't dropping huge guns, but I got a couple, these 2 amps. And you pick up Soulmate Rubios, which actually sell for really good markup, but it's because they have, like, no value. They are strictly a beginner gun. You can sell them for between, like, 200 and 300% markup. Because they've only got a 9 pec base rate, so that's, at best you're making 27 pec, which is not a lot, but you're getting a huge percent of markup over what you spent to get it. Because if you're hunting robots, you're only using like Book and Spare Rifle. You're getting a good chunk of that back in shrapnel, which of course you can convert at 101. And then you're getting this rifle that you can sell for 200 to 300% markup. You're probably going to make all of your money back and just a smidge more. And I mean, if you look at these B101s, the B101s sell at auction. They're only worth 8 pec, and you can sell them for a full peg. You're going to make 50 pec off at 1,500%. I mean, that's a lot. By the way, I do not recommend you get into a mob like that. That was not intended. I'm going to regret that when it comes time to repair my armor. Sometimes, though, you really can't help it up here. You take one too many steps and all of a sudden half the zone comes after you. It makes me happy that I've got good armor. I'm tinky. At least against mobs at this level. One thing is, though, is I haven't seen a global off these guys yet. Which, I'm not entitled to globals, but I am kind of surprised. Because I've been hunting, I hunted them quite a while yesterday. Like, I think I cycled 400 ped worth of ammo. Oh. Knife's out. Unequip. Detach. Drop. Equip. Why would you do that? It's like, oh, we're gonna spin around and work on the mobs you weren't working on. That sounds like a smart plan. Let me make sure I'm still recording. Oh yeah, I had to change my hotkeys because I realized that my the keys I used to bring up my hotkeys, why did it do that? Were also linked to my recorder, which is why I would go through and I'd end up having to re-record these. It's like shit. So I moved the hotkeys from my recorder up to keys that I never use for anything, and so that's good. Wow, dude. I get it. You're pissed. You're a predator. You have to stand on my shoulders. Stop messing with my camera angles. That is one thing I kind of miss. You used to be able to kind of like detach your camera angle from your avatar, and now that's not always the case. It's not the same. And I get it. I think the prevailing wisdom on this, and this is something that I've heard Serial Overdrive talk about too. I'm pretty sure, and actually I think him and I discussed this. I don't know. I think it was mentioned briefly. I think they're preparing to port Entropia Universe to more platforms, specifically mobile, because there's a huge opportunity for EU in mobile. Now, as long as the processor of the platform, the mobile platform, like the Android or the iOS device, whether it's an iPhone or an iPad or what have you, there's huge potential there. And I know that there's at least one program out there that force ports a lot of video games to mobile. I don't know if I'd recommend using it. There are some people who say that it works fine. I haven't tried it yet. I'm kind of reluctant to. Not because I'm afraid of it like wrecking my info or anything like that, but because I'm not sure what Cry 2 Engine's going to do to a Snapdragon processor. And yeah, I've got an 835 Snapdragon, which is basically the equivalent to an i5. I mean, this thing is a tanky processor. I have put it through its paces, but I don't know. It makes me nervous. I think I would want to do it on a unit that I would be willing to sacrifice. And right now, I don't have one. Or, alternatively, I would try it on the Razer gaming phone, which has the Snapdragon 845 processor, which is beefier than the 835 by quite a bit, despite the fact that the 835 is a beefy processor. But it would be like the difference between an i5 and an i7, or an i7 and an i9. And so that's just it's something that I would try. I would try it on that because it has the graphic. The Razer phone has a serious graphics ability, and I've got a Pixel, and the Pixel does too. I mean, the Pixel's an OLED screen, but I put Entropia on a Chromebook just to like try it, and I think I could have destroyed the Chromebook's and it was an i5 processor, but the graphics card just couldn't take it. It was overheating the graphics card. And so I think it's just a little too much for a phone, at least right now. And it might be that it's not even the graphics issue, it's just making sure the interface works. And if it works on mobile because of this emulator program, that's awesome. And more power to people who do it. I'm a little too nervous. Maybe I'm just a little too nervous to do it. Call me Piglet or something like that. These little terps are like weird, man. Look like armless xenomorph chickens. There we go. We can just like body pull from so far away. Kind of back up a little bit. I don't need 30 of them on me again. Looks like there's more over here. Where are we on relative to... No, we're pretty far in. I mean, and as you know, Sharp Claw Ridge, there is a cave on this side of Sharp Claw. I have explored it in a previous video. I should probably go in there again. I think that's the one that, like, goes deep into Calypso's underground, where you have all kinds of different mobs. I don't even remember... I think I need plates before I go back in there. I think that was the issue. But I think I was only using like LB20s and LR10s when I went in there the first time. Might have to go back and look at my weapons again. But there are some cool caves on Calypso. There's more that I need to really see. There's more that I need to explore. Short Fern versus Midas Tree. Okay. I would love to know how these berry clut end up with boards. Like, there isn't a tree. You can't see a tree anywhere. But they end up with, like, boards on them. It makes no sense. It's hilarious. And it's a video game. It doesn't have to make sense, but it's just like, what were you doing with, like, 2x4s? Why did you have 2x4s in your gullet? Do you just, like, eat trees? There's no trees. Does your stomach, like, take all of the grass and compact it into a board? Except you don't eat grass either because you're a predator. And so... Sorry, I'm overanalyzing it. I just find it hilarious, that's all. I'm weird. Don't mind me. We're doing good. So, whoop, we got more. This is actually one of the few times I went into a vlog and I had no clue what I was going to talk about. But we found plenty of topics to talk about. It's been a really busy week. Like, I have worked just on my normal 9 to 5. Yeah. I think yesterday was the first day that I didn't put in overtime. Like, period dot. I was there until 6 o'clock just about every day. I was in early almost every day. It was a long week. And I still managed to put out all my content on time. And sometimes those weeks happen. No, I'm looking at... I'm looking at a couple of business things that might be going through and more mundane, mundanity. Oh, there is one thing I did want to mention. Thank you all so much. We have hit 150 subscribers. That's huge. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. And you know, I need to get better at remembering, like, I don't know what it is. I got really good at it, and then I started forgetting to do my intro subscription request. Because that has really helped with getting subscribers. Because we're on the road to 13 million subscribers, folks. It's going to happen one subscription at a time. But that's okay. You know what? There's always the next video. I've got an Entropia video coming out tomorrow. It's going to be on short blades. And I've got Borderlands going on, which I'm actually seeing a pickup in the people who are watching my Let's Play videos on Borderlands, and that's really cool. I mean, it's nowhere near the views I get on Entropia, which makes sense because Entropia is really my core niche. But it's nice to see that, you know, the other content I make is getting some love. Ah, coffee cup's empty. That's not cool. Yeah, that's right. I mainline coffee like all day. It's my thing. Keeps me going. Okay. And you know what? I think we're going to start extracting ourselves from Sharp Claw Ridge. Because I have discovered the ground out here is not flat enough for you to actually like drop asleep near. And my hover pod isn't exactly what you'd call in great shape. Oh, look at all that aggro. There's a lot of misses going on though. Like evade, miss, 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 evade. The plus side to this is I'm gathering a lot of evade skills. Even though it's in like tiny little increments, this is a way you can build your evade relatively quickly. That being said, it's also a way to die relatively quickly, so just be cognizant. And you're gonna go through more pet if you've got armor on. Everything's a trade-off. But like just in this short video, I've gained almost 50 skills in short blade, and that's awesome. Looks like I'm cutting at his throat, doesn't it? Notice, why would it target the guy way in the back? I got 3 guys hitting me. It's like, no, I'm gonna target the one way the fuck over there. It's like, you ass. Take out the mobs that are biting you, then go after the next one. Come on. You know, I'm trying to get out of here. You guys have to stop attacking me so I can extract myself. Kind of move myself away from the spawn zones. There we go. Whoa. I did not know these guys were out here. That's good to know. I've got a mission chain for them too, and MindArk still hasn't released the new missions. The way the new missions work, the new Iron Mission automatic collection. You got a month left to finish your Iron Missions thing, which I'm kind of wishing I had spent more time on migration now, but I don't think I would have made the 34,000 points. And so I think I made the right decision, but I'm still like, have you ever like spent time second guessing yourself on something? That's me with migration. Okay, we are back at Corinth East Hangars. Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, 1 subscription at a time, so please make sure you subscribe. I really appreciate all of your support. You all have a wonderful day.